I see. Got it. Alright, seems to be working now. Cool. Did I sound normal? Sound like a chipmunk? Yeah, don't try reading the comments. I'm definitely gonna die reading the comments. Let's see if comments keep working. Yeah, I got the mood lighting. I got the candles going on. Gotta have the candles for, Diablo dungeons. Hey, happy Friday night, everyone. Welcome to Streaming Test 3. What we're aiming for here is that the audio sounds normal, this image looks reasonably good, so it's not flickering, and the comments are working. I think all three of those are good. So I'm not I don't sound like a chipmunk on helium, and the stream looks okay, room for improvement, and the comments are not crashing. We might have a good, it seems like it's good progress. Great. Yeah, okay, cool. Nice.
Greetings.
Oh, let's see. I'll just,
Hello.
greet this random person. Emily 80. So this is like the biggest ad for Diablo ever. So great game. But listen, I gotta use something for streaming. Can't just stream nothing. So, and once again, I have to applaud the game makers and at Blizzard for making a great game. What I'm playing right now is the regular season. So there are two sort of add-ons, I guess. Season 1, which is about to end, and Season 2, which is starting. This is what they call the Eternal Realm. And just to give people a little bit of background who don't know, have never seen this game before, there's 4 world tiers. So there's sort of there's like a basic, a veteran is level 2, Nightmare is level 3, and then Torment, which is beyond level 3, is level 4. So we're in World Tier 4 here, which is Torment, which is a level beyond Nightmare. Then within Torment, there are Nightmare dungeons. The Nightmare dungeons range from 1 to 100, and we're going to play a Tier 100 dungeon. So this is the hardest dungeon in the hardest level of Diablo. And death is common here, so although my name is I Will Never Die, this is I say this in irony because actually I die a lot. And my title is Rampaging Goat, because rampaging goats are pretty scary. And yeah, so for those who play a little bit of Diablo, I'll tell you about the build and what I'm aiming for here. So you can see basically my gear. This is a game that is like really, if you love math and statistics, you'll love you'll love Diablo. It is math and statistics next level. So you have all these attributes for each bit of gear. So on my helm, I've got an increase in life. I get a bit more life when I kill something. I have an armor gain. I get a damage reduction when shapeshifted into a werewolf. I get more damage reduction. At the highest levels, you need a massive amount of damage reduction and armor, or you're just going to get instantly killed by a tiny skeleton. So, unless you're armored like a battleship, you just instantly die on Tier 100 dungeons. So there's really pretty much everything is aimed at maximum armor, maximum damage reduction. This is a person saying so Emily 80 saying, well, Emily 80, I'm going to do a tier 100 Nightmare Dungeon, so if you want to come along for that, you're welcome to do that. I'll just accept that. You want to give me money? Okay, sure. You really do have 200 million gold? I think that's like, what can I give you? I don't really have anything. I don't know if you can even use my stuff. I can give you. How about this really nice potion? This is a really nice potion. There you go. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for giving me crazy money.
Come with me.
Okay. Well, do you want to? I was gonna do like an intense dungeon, but I kind of need to explain my gear a little bit to people for what it's worth if they're playing Diablo. So anyway, I'll just go quickly through my gear. The game designers clearly love something called critical strike, which is like a special strike. So I'm amping up critical strike chance here. The stats are necessary to activate certain attributes in the Paragon board, which you'll see. Paragon boards are wild. Then more damage reduction, more armor. Basic skills grant 20% damage reduction. Hurricane is +4 rank, so that's what matters, just having Hurricane at all. Then I got movement speed, just so I'm not moving super slowly. More armor when I'm in werewolf form. Damage reduction when injured. A little bit of dodge against just an enemy. It's not that important. The Ghostwalker attribute is for imprint is really important because it prevents me from getting stuck in a giant pile of monsters and having them all just pile on me. So when I have this what's called unstoppable, which is not strictly speaking unstoppable, but when I have this attribute unstoppable, I can walk through the enemies, which is so I can't get just crushed by the monsters in like some sort of jam. Then this weapon is it's a great weapon, Great Staff of the Crone. It amps up my claw attack, which is a basic attack. What really matters is that the claw is also a storm strike skill. I'm getting kind of in the weeds with Diablo, so if you've played Diablo, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't played Diablo, this is all going to sound like nonsense. So my apologies. But the thing that matters here is that that's a storm strike, because and I'll explain why in a minute. But I'll just go through the rest of the gear. Again, more damage reduction. You'll note damage reduction, especially from enemies that are poisoned, because I'm going to poison all the enemies. I've got something that enable me to spam Poison Creeper. So I'm going to spam. I'm going to poison the enemies. And you can poison a ghost in this game, which you have to like have a lot of suspension of disbelief, but whatever. This is the game mechanic. So I'm going to poison everything around me, and that's going to give me damage reduction against those enemies that are poisoned, which is very important. More barrier generation, so I'm going to be constantly producing a barrier. That barrier is really important for damage protection, and the barrier is actually, the secondary attribute of the barrier is my primary attack. Also very important, basic skills, 29%. The way I rebuild the barrier is by attacking with the basic skill. So basic skill attack speed is very important. Then I'm also making the enemies vulnerable all the time, so boosting vulnerable damage helps. I'm slowing the enemies, so boosting slowed damage is important. Some more max life, so I can't get one hit killed. More critical strike chance, and then this imprint of natural balance is important. because I'm going to be alternating storm skills and earth skills. And when I cast a storm skill, it buffs my earth critical strike damage. When I cast an earth skill, it increases the critical strike chance of storm skills. Critical strike, super important. If we go to spirit boons here, this is sort of special for a druid. Just taking 10% less damage from elites, which is those are sort of the tough monsters in the game. I currently have it set to 10% attack speed. Depending on the dungeon, you might want to have an increment max life. Attack speed is if I don't get one hit killed in a dungeon, attack speed is more important than a life boost. Then you can pick one of these attributes to pick two of. In this case, I've chosen the kind of deer one, and this is a really important one. Critical strikes have a 20% chance to reset the cooldown of my companion skill. Now, it's kind of weird, but Poison Creeper is my companion. It's a strange buddy to have as a, some Poison Creeper that's going through the ground as your buddy. But anyway, that's kind of how it's classified in the game. Is Poison Creeper is your companion. I don't know if you want to snuggle up to a Poison Creeper in the middle of the night, but that's what we got here. So normally Poison Creeper would be a 20-second cooldown, but because I'm going to be critical striking really fast, I'll actually reset this cooldown to be effectively about 4 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. And so I'm going to be able to cast Poison Creeper over and over again. And the modifier on Poison Creeper is really important. I'm getting a 20% gain on critical strike chance. So when you add all these things up on the critical strike chance, we look at the critical strike chance. My base critical strike chance is roughly 38%. Then I've got a 6% gain for nearby enemies, 43%. With Poison Creeper active, it goes to 63%. If storm skills are activating critical strike, I've got like another 11%. So I'm like basically 3/4 of the time I'm going to be doing a critical strike. So most of the vast majority of my attacks, and I'm attacking very fast. So that is what's going to reset the companion skill. So making Poison Creeper something that instead of being cast occasionally is going to be cast frequently, like every 3 or 4 seconds. Then masochistic, it's called. Critical strikes also will heal me. So there's kind of the damage flux and the healing flux, and I'm trying to balance the rate at which that they're damaging me. I'm matching that with how much I'm healing. So these strikes are constantly healing. That's pretty helpful. And then I'm also using Blood Howl to heal and to increase my attack speed. So then going to the skill tree. As you can see, this game is deep. It starts off where you think the game's like not that deep, but it gets really deep. So here I've got my basic attack, Claw. Because Claw also does a Storm Strike, I've got Storm Strike to get the secondary attributes here, to immobilize enemies and make them vulnerable. This is like a thing I just added, which is to add Landslide. But Landslide, you'll notice, is not on my attack bar. That's because Landslide is on my weirdly on my gloves. So when I do Poison Creeper, it also casts Landslide. So the reason I have the Landslide picked here is for the secondary attributes. So it'll also immobilize enemies, and then if I have immobilized enemies, I'm going to again get a critical strike increase. In fact, a guaranteed critical strike with critical strike damage. So this is awesome. I just added this. It's actually made a big difference, and it helps against bosses. So you're limited to only having five attacks in the, I should say 6 attacks in the main bar. So effectively, I get sort of a 7th attack this way, and then going to here, Earthen Bulwark. The secondary attack for Earthen Bulwark. The Rock Shrapnel is actually my primary attack. That's why I have it on the right mouse key. I should say primary damage. So the primary attack is Claw, but the primary damage creator is the Earthen Bulwark, just making the basically my shield, my barrier, explode. That is actually the primary damage generator. And then I've got Cyclone Armor, which is sort of nice to have, but actually, again, it's not really the damage or the damage reduction of Cyclone Armor, but rather the fact that enemies are knocked back and slowed. And so slowed is, if you think back to the thing, I'm doing extra damage to slowed enemies, and it's also, again, making them vulnerable. So, and then Blood Howl just helps increase attack speed, and it's sort of like helps you heal. So, I got my Poison Creeper. Again, I really want Poison Creeper for immobilization and a critical strike increase. So the immobilization just kind of lock the monsters in one position, so they can't just pile on me. And then I'm really not trying to boost damage much, but I'm really trying to have fortification. So there's like kind of 3 layers of defense. There's your health, there's being fortified, and then there's barrier. So I got kind of the belt, suspenders, and crazy glue for damage resistance, protection of one kind or another. This is pretty important. So when I attack enemies, they're slowed. So this is also helping just put them in the slow category. And Venom boosts my critical strike damage. And then Toxic Claws just means that when I do a critical strike, I'm going to poison them. So I'm poisoning them both directly and with the Poison Creeper. And these are some attack buffs. Just nature magic skills, which is Storm or Earth, increased damage to elites. Then I mostly want to just get over to this thing where I'm going to get 18% damage when I do my Bulwark attack, which is an Earth attack. Because I'm going to do that Bulwark attack immediately after casting Storm Strike. Then over here, I kind of want this guy. So when they hit me, it actually is like a jujitsu move. When they hit me, I get fortified. So staying fortified in tier 100 dungeons is very difficult. Fortified drains very quickly. So in this case, the more they hit me, the more I get fortified. So that's pretty helpful. And then down here, I really am looking for this one, which is shape-shifting into a werewolf, gives me 12% damage reduction. I'm actually not using... so these are the ultimate skills. I'm actually not using an ultimate skill attack. So depending upon your perspective, this is either better or worse. But normally, like most players will use an ultimate attack. I'm actually going to do a tier 100 Nightmare Dungeon without using an ultimate skill. I think that's actually better, but some would say it's worse. Usually you don't give up an ultimate skill, but I am in this case. Because I think Poison Creeper is a little better. I could be wrong, but Poison Creeper, especially with Landslide, I think is good. And then, this is really important, I use Nature's Fury, which when I cast an Earth or Storm skill, it has a 30% chance of casting the opposite type of spell. This really, I think, is also cool because it like lights up the screen. So you'll see like tornadoes and lightning. So, and then I get this knock-on effect when Poison Creeper casts Landslide. Then Landslide has a 30% chance of triggering a Storm skill. So you get this cascading effect of really Nature's Fury is the right description. It looks insane. And the Paragon boards. So the Paragon boards is like, I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons crossed with Go. It's, I don't know, maybe the best analogy. So you can pick different Paragon boards. You can rotate them. You can join them in different ways. Like I said, this is probably the best ad for Diablo ever. But so I'm using Territorial here. I'm using Undaunted here. This is I'm really trying to optimize my damage reduction for the most part. So I'm getting increased damage, but I'm really getting that 10% damage reduction there. Also 10% damage reduction here. Outmatched to boost these nodes. This is the node I actually want to boost the most, which is to boost determination to maximize my armor. And then protector over here. Again, I'm just looking for that 10% damage reduction from the barrier. Then this is actually a pretty important Slayer node for another 300 armor. Getting this one for 100 armor. And then the final one is Werewolf. And again, I'm getting 10% damage reduction in Werewolf form. So for those who are curious, that's my build. It's like a heavy Nature's Fury build, which is appropriate for a Druid. Yeah, so with that, see, I picked this guy. I can do most of the tier 100 dungeons, unless it's got armor reduction. That one is tough. Alright. Alright, Emily, I think you're gonna have trouble staying alive in this dungeon. Yeah, lightning storm. So, in this dungeon, there's lightning will periodically strike. If you're not in the lightning dome, you will die. No, that was good. Looks like when you climb, you're automatically in the dome or something.
I apologize.
Alright. So you can see the Poison Creeper is resetting a lot. And if you want a game that really illustrates the importance of compound interest, that corpse bow is going to kill me. I'm gonna bounce around a lot. So I like all the special effects of, you know, you can see the Cyclone Armor, Hurricane. But like I said, getting all these damage elements to multiply is really important. I forgot to mention, this symbiotic aspect is really important. So when Nature's Fury triggers, it doesn't. Nature's Fury will trigger will reduce the cooldown by 8 seconds if attached to your necklace or whatever amulet. You really have to be on your toes in these tier 100 dungeons. You're sort of kind of one mistake away from dying most of the time.
Well done. I appreciate that.
The beast lives within you.
It's really hard to see what's going on at times, I have to admit. Gotta watch those corpse bow. The corpse bow can win to kill me.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Alright. So I think you gotta watch these timers. Gotta watch keep track of those timers as well as the health bar. So you gotta time the attacks. That's why the counters is counting down to refresh the various attacks.
Impressive.
Thank you. So, oh man. Gotta watch out for that guy. If he does that overhead attack, that'll one shot kill me. Ah! Whoa. That was close. So I'm like using the Ghost Walker aspect to basically attack these guys, walk through them and hit them from behind. So they can't get that overhead attack, can't kill me. The overhead sort of slam attack that they got. Alright.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. Thanks, Emily. This lightning effect is pretty cool. It's like, it's so ominous with this like lightning countdown to death.
Come with me.
So, I mean, as you can tell, I'm a huge fan of gaming. I think video games are a real sport, and I have a lot of respect for those who are good at video games. It's really hard. I think it's esports of the future, or I mean regular sports too, but I think esports are you know. Anyway, I love video games. Obviously.
Look.
Now this guy, it's actually, we've gotten past the most difficult part of the game. I'll nail this guy super fast. Oddly enough, the final bosses on the tier 100s are easier than the dungeon itself. If you can make it through the dungeon itself, then you're good. So let's resurrect Emily. Oh, Emily. I should point out, like, it's if you're not level 100 and you do a tier 100 dungeon, you're just gonna die instantly. So I suspect Emily's actually quite skilled, but it's almost impossible to stay alive if you're level 80 in a tier 100 dungeon. Judging by the fact that Emily had so much gold, I think Emily's probably a very skilled player. So we're gonna head back to town. Alright, so that was it. Testing, streaming on the X system. Emily says she's not skilled. She bought 8 billion gold from a Chinese hacker. All right, that's pretty funny. Because I mean, it takes a while to accumulate that kind of gold in this game. Anyway, when I've been working, all day, I actually find video games to be weirdly a stress relief. So it seems weird that, like, you're welcome. Video games are kind of a stress relief because in order to not die in a tier 100 dungeon, you have to focus. So you can't normally you got so many like apps open, like browser windows open. Being forced to focus and on a video game actually and killing demons in the game quiets the demons in my mind. So I actually find it to be a kind of a good thing to do. It's also like something you could do with friends. So and like a lot of games have multiplayer. So if your friends are in different cities, you can play with your friends. So none of my friends are online right now, but I'll often play with friends in San Francisco or Boston or other parts of the world. And I'm in Austin right now. So yeah, so this is pretty cool. So now you know this is like, frankly, this is actually my main recreational activity is playing video games. And playing with my kids and playing with video games. And at times I've been able to play video games with my kids to get, do both at the same time. With my older boys, I used to play Diablo, I should say Mass Effect 3, the multiplayer of Mass Effect 3, which was really quite a fun co-op multiplayer. So, and I'm gonna try to answer some questions that I see from the comments. It's cool to see that the comments are still going, and we're able to keep the stream working at high volume. So, we'll add X streaming for Xbox and PS5. We're not trying to, do everything better than every other app, but we want to say that if you do want to do something within the X system or the X platform, you can do it if you want. I think the various specialist apps are still going to be probably better than us in a lot of ways, but I think we can be the best generalist app, and there's some value to being a generalist app for discovery and for interacting with the largest number of people in the world. So, so we have a crazy number of people online here, so it's cool to see that the system is taking the load. Congrats to the X dev team for making rapid improvements in the space of less than a week. Because I'm seeing all the comments here. I've got basically an iPad open, connected to the stream, so I can play the game, and I've got full screen on the game, and I can see the X feed on the side here with an iPad, so I can see with it's a 5-10 second delay. I can see all the comments that people are making. So we don't yet have an X app for PlayStation 5 or for PlayStation or Xbox, but we will do that. That's on the list of things to do. Yeah, the Raptor engine is much more complicated than the Diablo skill tree, although Diablo skill tree is pretty complicated. I have to say I balked up the wrong tree many times, or at least as you go through the various levels of difficulty. Like I started out being a werebear and using pulverized with shockwave, which is pretty fun. Pulverized with wow, that looks cool. Thanks, Emily. I like all sparkly now. Yeah, that's funny. uh, I think these like cool emotes. Wings of the Creator looks cool. So, and anyway, it's been a blast playing Diablo. I might try the season 2, see what that's like. I was thinking of trying Baldur's Gate 3 and a few other things. It's really just kind of like half an hour a day, every second or third day type of thing is roughly my playtime. So we're not currently rendering pick and pick on the screen itself, but I can see the easy move is here is I just have an iPad next to my main screen, and I can see myself with a bit of a delay in the bottom right, and I can see the comments on the left. So it gives me a bit of a feedback loop to see what's going on. It works, so definitely not trying to say this is ASUS quite yet, but it's cool that it works at all. So yeah, I heard Baldur's Gate 3 is amazing. Let's see, I was I was gonna play some music, but I kind of forgot to play that.
Regulators. We regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good too. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy.
Battery 100%. Ready to set.
Yeah, so I guess I'll do like a semi-regular streaming as requested. I don't know, maybe once a week or once every couple weeks. I'm mostly just doing this to test the system, figure out what improvements we need to make, and sort of combined work and play, I guess. As somehow video games are like part of work, which is cool.